Hello doctor, my name is Yugan Raja. My metric number is 232028 and 74. I'm here in this video going to explain about a documentary in YouTube, the title called the world's most polluted river in Indonesia, the Citarum river disaster. First of all, summary of this documentary. There are two main key points that I'm going to highlight here. First, lethal chemical contamination, and second is plastic pollution. 90% of textile factories around Citarum River is not aware of actual problem, or there are lack of proper treatment system around the Citarum River. Second, the deadliest finding found in rice at 116 times the safe standard. Neurotoxic causes intellectual disability among the children in that surrounding. Next, found 10 times the recommended limit, causes diarrhea, a leading cause of infant mortality. Next, plastic pollution. Rivers act as an open rubbish bin in that place. Indonesian peoples or factories dumps tons and tons of rubbish and toxics in the river without considering the future effects. Through this video, we can connect issues that we studied in Malaysia. First, negative externalities. Factories dumps tons of rubbishes, toxics into the Citarum River. The cost of water treatment onto the public. Health crisis, contaminated food, river cleanup. The price of fast fashion does not reflect its true cost. Second, race to the bottom mentality. Government and industry fear that strict environmental enforcement will make the product 10% more expensive and deter FDI, foreign direct investment. The global competition leads to weak regulation to attract capital, sacrificing the environment for the short-term growth. What I'm saying here is, for the short-term economic growth or short-term benefit, short-term profit, they ignoring the impacts that will come in future for them and for their future generations. For example, in Malaysia, this reflects local industries pollution incidents like the Sungai Kim disaster caused by similar governance and profit dividends failure. Effect of contaminated water. First, human health impact, immediate and long term. First, neurotoxicity. High lead level disturb the central and premental nervous system, cause intellectual disability in exposed children. Infant mortality. High sulfate concentration in water is linked to precise diarrhea, a major cause of child's deaths. Future risks. Chronic exposure to hormones, disturbance, and heavy metals increase the risk of cancer and reproduction issues. Second, environmental and food impact. First, food chain contamination. Contaminated water is used to irrigate staple crops, leading highly poisoned rice that is sold nationwide. Water usability. The river is redundant, unstable for a safe consumption or even washing due to color, foam, and smell. Next, stakeholders action plan. First, textile industry and subcontractor. Recommended actions. Invest over cost in high performance wastewater treatment system and filtration. Select eco-friendly chemicals for dyeing and soaping to produce minimum harmful substance. Second, global clothing brands like H&M, Uniqlo. Recommended action is leverage their purchasing power to demand strict environmental compliance for all subcontractors. Shift focus from purely price-based decision to sustainable and ethical sourcing. Third, Indonesian government recommended action, implement and strictly enforce higher environmental standards. Revise permits to include testing for all dangerous substances like heavy metals and non-phenol. Fourth, Consumers. Support companies with eco-label and be willing to pay slight price premium, example 10% higher, that covers the cost of responsible production. Last, environmental activists recommended action is to continue conduct monitoring and sampling and evidence gathering to hold polluting factories and regulatory bodies. Next, relation to collective action. First, local collective action. Second, government collective action. Third, consumer collective action. The government must act as the primary collective agent to set binding rules, monitor behaviors, and punish defectors, for example, like factories. Second, local activists must continue monitoring, publicizing data, organizing residents to demand clean water and healthy environment. Consumers must collectively demand accountability from the global supply chain. Next, 5 main lessons learned. First, health is the true price. Second, global brand holds the power. Third, toxic accumulate. Fourth, weak regulation enables crisis. Fifth, clean production is feasible. Price versus health. The true cost of cheap goods is paid to the long-term health and intellectual development of vulnerable population. Brands hold the power. Global clothing retailers have the leverage. The real power to demand ethical production. Their infraction is a key driver of disaster. Accumulation. Heavy metals and toxics don't disappear. They accumulate in the soil, water, food chain, making the reversal extremely very difficult. Weak enforcement is complicity. The problem is not lack of technology, but the lack of political willing due to the investors' first growth model. Last, clean production is possible. One factory proved that investing in advanced treatment, it's around 10 billion investment, can achieve highly environmental standard. Next, how to relate this documentary with environmental issues in Malaysia. First, industrial river pollution. Second, trade-off in development. Third, the global supply chain. Finally, the conclusion. The Citarum is a powerful case study demonstrating that when environmental costs are ignored, the poorest and most vulnerable pay the price. Thank you very much, Doctor. My name is Yugan Raja. That's all from me. Thank you.